I'm Dr. Rachna. Welcome to the welcome to another Skillify session. So, on the topic NextGen thinking for sustainable space. Now, before we go on further to understand what is this NextGen thinking, so let's understand. So, we have already gone through lots of changes in our society, and we have also gone through lots of changes on the whole earth. We have experienced and we are also experiencing COVID-19 pandemic situation, and we are also facing climate change. So what do we need now? Why do we need this next gen thinking? It's because we need to think for a future, for a better world, to make our place a better world to live and to survive. And we should also think of surviving in this in these intense situations that have taken us to a very destructive level. We should work together to meet the goals of sustainability at all the levels of society. We should make spaces to accommodate all beings together. So, whether they are human beings, whether they are non human beings, the non human aspects, the nature, the environment, we should think of all of us together because we are the one. Now, there are certain levels of society, individual or personal or psychological. So, at this level, we should understand our identity. We should recognize ourself, our identity as part of a society. We are not disconnected with society, we are part of it. We are born here. So, we should understand that. We should be aware of socio-political levels, the socio-political workings of society, interconnectedness with the people around us, irrespective of caste, class, race, gender, or any other divisions, respecting all. We should think of safeguarding their rights and interests. And the third is the geographical level, the geographical plane. We should understand the different terrains of our landscape. The whole earth has different terrains, has various terrains. We should respect those terrains. We should respect and preserve the intensity. We should preserve the beauty of all these landscapes and conserve those landscapes, climate change, and understand the notions of climate change, weather changes that have affected the earth and all the geographical landscapes. Economic. Think about the financial stability, economic growth of every strata of society on equal terms, equality. Then architectural. This is also one of the levels that we most of us don't think about. And what are these? What are the aspects of the architectural growth? This is also a part of a next gen thinking, should be a part of next gen thinking. Green architecture, mini cities, townships, minimal structures, minimal establishments, and minimal establishments for the human life to accommodate, and vast landscapes to accommodate nature, environment. Ecological growth. That is very important because ecology is earth, ecology is the whole universe. Biotic equilibrium. This is very important to maintain the ecological balance and harmony on the whole earth, maintain biotic equilibrium to survive and build ecological communities through eco spirituality, by bringing spiritual values into our culture, bringing spiritual values into our individuality, bringing ecological harmony, thinking about the oneness of all beings of earth, of all beings related to the universe, the planets, the stars, the sun, the earth, worshipping our earth, the universe, and all the forms of life, including us, the humans, and the non humans. Then Only then we can be able to regenerate and restore the stability of our earth and think of a better future, a positive, and bring about a positive ecological change in our society on the earth. Now, what do we mean by space? So, space has different connotations, has different meanings. Space is when we want some freedom from the external pressure to grow our identity, to grow in unique identity and individuality. So, space is a sufficient freedom from external pressure to grow and develop more and explore our possibilities, our needs, interests, and individuality. Space is also considered as the reserved or available accommodation on a public transportation or vehicle. Or even at some restaurants or dining halls, we may have seen that some seats are reserved. So, this is also space. Our reserved seats, the seats that we occupy, the place that we occupy for ourselves, for our personal growth, for our freedom. And also, when we encroach upon the other spaces, when we when we don't leave space for the others to grow. So we should think about all these different denotations and meanings of space. The expanse in which the solar system, stars, and galaxies exist, the universe. That sublime universe is also space. The region of this expanse beyond Earth's atmosphere, the Earth, as well as the spaces on other planets, everything is connected with this single term space. An extent or expanse of a surface or a three-dimensional area where water can be seen covered. uh, so water also covers a large space at the end of the valley. We should understand that water also occupies space, gases also occupy space, and the earth, the soil, also occupies a large space. A blank or empty area. So it also means a blank or empty area, but this emptiness is not without, it's not vacuum. It includes something. It This is not empty at all. In that empty space also there are lots of invisible microbes which we don't see, which we cannot see. And that's why we don't care. So we should also recognize this aspect which is related to the space. We should understand this meaning of the space. So spaces are also the gaps between words that we speak. But those spaces also mean something. Those spaces between our words we speak, the words we write, those spaces mean that we want someone else to understand our thoughts, our feelings, emotions. So that space is filled with all these things, all these feelings and emotions that are in our heart. So it is an area which is provided for a particular purpose, a parking space. It's a set of elements or points which satisfy specified geometric postulates, a non Euclidean space. So it is mathematical in nature. Then the last, the infinite extension of the three dimensional region in which all matter exists. So it is related to all matter that exists and occupies some space in that infinite extension of the 3D region. This is also space. Now, next gen thinking for sustainable space at our workplace. It should be developed. This thinking should be developed to sustain a space for all the individuals so that they can work in a very efficient manner at their workplaces. So, an individual who works at a workplace occupies some space. He occupies a desk, he occupies a chair, and some space for himself or herself to be physically present. But when we look at this from a distinctive plane, the person not just occupies some physical space, but at once he gets connected with other spaces as well. The spaces where where his colleagues sit, his employees sit, his managers sit or occupy. So he should understand that relationship that exists between all these spaces. Now we can understand this particular feature of space according to the five categories. The first category is the psychological space, the psychological space that belongs to that particular individual. So, this psychological space lies within every living soul, the psychic world, the madness for love, being true to oneself and others around us, being truthful to our emotive responses and feelings, our intuitions and thoughts. All of us, all of these feelings and emotions reside in us, and they have made their spaces in our minds, in our hearts. The Then we can talk about the personal space. What is this personal space? It relates to our personal self, our identity, the recognition of our own self, our own interests, where we keep all our moral, ethical, and spiritual values intact and organized. The social space. As he makes new relationships with the co workers and the employer and the company or any institution or organization of which he is part of. This is what social space is, where we interact with others, interact with the other people, with our family members, with our relatives, our friends, neighbors, and also the other animals, the living beings on earth. Then the cultural space. After social space comes the cultural space that includes everything. Everything means the personal space, the social space, the psychological space, as well as the nature. When the individual becomes a part of the workplace culture and builds a connection or develops a connection between his own cultural values with the cultural values of the people around him with whom he connects in the culture of a company or some establishment. So, this is what can be termed as a cultural space. So, we should respect the cultural values of others around us. We should respect the culture of our workplace. We should respect our own cultural values, the individual cultural values which we have got through our tradition. So, we should keep considering all these cultural values and their interconnection. Now, this culture space can be built up through the power of adaptability. We should adapt. Then, the last is the ecological space. Now, this ecological space is the universe, the whole, the all the planets, the beings who inhabit this earth, who inhabit the whole universe, the humans and the non-humans, and the nature. So this is what inhabit or what create the ecological space. So after going through all these different types of the spaces, let's move on further and let's understand how we can bring sustainability to our ethics, how we can bring this sustainability in our thinking. So now there are lots of there's a whole process that we should undergo to bring this sustainability in our business, in our workplace, and everywhere to make this earth a better place to everyone. So first is the expanded horizons. We should think about all horizon, the intellectual plane, the academics, the research, the creativity, innovation, and all the aspects should be considered and we should bring together all these horizons. The sky and heaven and earth should meet together to uh, to expand the possibilities of a particular individual, to expand the possibilities of every organization to work for the benefit and welfare of all of us together. Second is the strategic alignment. To align all the strategies and ways, measures together, all the strategies that we have framed with regards to an individual ethics, or we have considered about the growth of a personal or individual growth, employee growth. Then the strategies related to the workings of the company, the workings of the establishment or the organization, the strategies related to our interactions or interconnections with the outside world. And then the third one is impactful advocacy, to advocate for our rights, for our for the rights of, for the rights of goodness, rights of ethics, rights of oneness, and all the rights related to liberty, equality, fraternity. All these rights should be taken into consideration to make an impact on the world, to make an impact in this globe, at a global level, at a global plane, and to exchange our knowledge with each other, to understand the knowledge, to understand the new ideas provided to us by others, and to integrate all different types of knowledge together, whether it's related to science or sociology or the society, the ethics, the politics, and the ecology. So, all these knowledge related to different discourses should be interrelated. We should exchange our viewpoints, our ideas with others. Wherever we get good ideas, take it, take that knowledge. Then try to build your resources, your sustainable resources. Think about the resources from which you can benefit and from which the others can benefit. Think of both these perspectives together, not just of your own benefits, but think about the benefits of the others, how these resources going to help the others, how these resources will going to develop an interactive whole. So these resources should be sustainable in nature, that can be easily renewed, recycled, and reused. Stronger community, developing a stronger community is also very important aspect of bringing sustainability. Now, how the stronger community can be built? By following the interest, by uh, following the aspects of love, honesty, truth, and compassion, bringing empathy in our life, in our thought, building strong relationships, and also thinking about a communal harmony. All the communities are, bring them together, integrate all these communities of people, and make them strong. So these are some aspects through which we can bring sustainability in our business, in our workplace, and also in our thought. Now, there are other ways also to make your space more sustainable, and how we can do that. Being more open to the ideas, to the good ideas, to innovative and more creative ideas. First of all, for that, you will have to leave some space, some gaps in your mind to entertain the new ideas, the new information, and clear up some space in your mind by deleting insignificant memories which are related to your hurtful incidents, some accidents that had happened in your life, some bad memories of your life. Erase them from your mind. All bad feelings and emotions that had filled you with pride, violent aggression, greed, hatred, antagonism, dishonesty, ill will, or malice, and other vices. So, these emotions, your truthful emotions, can only help you when you are away from all these bad values, all these vices, and you remove all these vices from your heart. So now, in order to recognize the real worth of the others around you, you should remove all these vices from your heart and mind, and be more open, be more accommodating, Give them some personal space to grow fully without inhibitions, and imbibe good values, spiritual values, ethical values in you through these 5 P's. What are these 5 P's? Perseverance, patience, paying your respect to the others, to yourself as well as the others. Bring positivity, be positive in your approach, and put yourself in others' shoes or situation first in order to recognize their true nature, their true self, and also know about their circumstances, know about their conditions, and understand their real worth, their real merit. That is, empathize. Be more empathetic towards others. Don't sympathize, but empathize with others. And be more vigilant towards your own actions and their consequences. Be more alert and mindful of your own behavior and your action. Carefully watch your each step and each word that come up from your mouth, because every step can create havoc. Every step has the power to create and spread love. Stay away from negative criticism and the rude behavior. Be calm and happy always. Laugh out loud with joy and innocent heart. And then this we can bring together if we think about sustainability science. Don't make scientific innovations, scientific developments cruel, or or don't use the science to destruct, but use the science to construct, to reconstruct a sustainable world. So first you need to pop it, make it pop. What? So you need to pop all the you need to deconstruct the unsustainable means, the unsustainable uh, developments that we have followed, the unsustainable ideas. And then we should move and scale, measure everything, whatever comes in your way. Measure the depth and measure the ways in which you can enhance the beauty, in which you can enhance the technological power to bring sustainability in the world, and to develop a connection with the earth. Engage with big data, AI, and earth observations. Analyze the data, measure the whole data that you have collected, and bring AI to your help. Observe the earth, travel through the earth and observe what's happening around you. And then only you will be able to return or come to some conclusions, come to some solutions. Develop and champion the causes, the factors which can bring sustainability and leadership. Enhance your leadership qualities and bring sustainability, make sustainability your idea and your ideology. Bring it into your ideology. Organize and integrate at the national scale. So from being local, go be you can also integrate both the local and the global aspects, and be local. Bring and consider the aspects and interests of both your region, at the regional scale as well as at the national scale. Integrate all these values and all the measures, all that you have bring in the society. Build the field through transdisciplinary research. Now this is the demand of our present, this is the demand, this is the need of our present day world, that we should do the research, uh, and integrate all the disciplines together, bring all the disciplines together, material to the spiritual world, transcend to another level, transcend your research and take your research to another level by mingling up these aspects. Be material, but also bring spirituality, bring spiritual ideas, spiritual beliefs, and ethical values in your research. Connect these two fields and connect all the disciplines together. Support science and business. So, this is also very important when you bring science into your business and when you connect business with science, but in consonance, in consideration of sustainability. Keep this keyword in your mind that we have to sustain our earth, we have to sustain the whole universe. And we can do it together by bringing or by considering all these aspects, all these features. Make inclusion and diversity your core principles.